Just so you know. OK， so 我们现在，这个这个 recording get started 以后，OK， 你现在要这样做。OK， go ahead。你现在看到的是这个 screen 对不对啊？但是你下一个 screen 你可以在那边 preview， 这是 preview， 这是现在。
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Yes, okay. My name is Roger. Okay, most of people may recognize me. So welcome everybody. I know the past 2 days is a hard worker. Yeah, hard working. So I think hopefully it's not too tired. Yeah. Because our room have to return back to them very soon. So my presentation maybe they make a little bit short. Okay, maybe it's short. Okay, so I maybe had to do it more fast. Okay, so this subject is a financial statement through the CSV file. Everybody know a long time ago, they will mention that we had a third-party program called F9. Made that out the financial statements using the Excel to present that. Okay, but F9, after they changed the ownership, and after that, the user interface is not friendly. And another side, they make it very, very expensive, maybe original 10 times the pricing. Okay, so it's not practical to doing that. So we try to make out the financial statements can easily convert to CSV file, doing an Excel format, and make it much easier to display it. And in the meantime, you can prepare this format to send to the outside reader. Sometimes maybe bank need a financial statement using the spreadsheet format. Or sometimes some of the auditor, sometimes CPA or bank auditor, okay, outsider, the auditor, they prefer they have to use their familiar format, okay, like Excel. So that is our goal to make out the financial statement go to the spreadsheet format. Okay, so the good things is we make some improvements. Hold on a second. Can I find out the paste down key? Oh, I just clicked. Okay, thank you. Okay. Everybody know in the original, the design or the text format, just up to is a custom format, which is up to the certain columns from the 1 to 13. So ideally, I don't know why the very beginning they designed 13 column. I think maybe it has 13 months because some of the accounting period, the 13 period per year. Okay, maybe most of the using 12 months. Okay, but some of the organization they use in 4 weeks per period. So 52 divided by 4 is 13. So they use 13 period. So they design that way. So I think that very original, maybe they say, okay, 13 period is the maximum. So they design 13 period to make that custom financial statement, the limitations. So we expand the column from the 13, we expand to the 65 columns. So I think the 65 columns is very, very, very wide. So you can think about any kind of combinations. I think that's enough. Okay, if you're too wide, maybe reader cannot read it, and maybe losing the patience to read it, the whole thing. Okay, so that I think we reserve that capacity. I think pretty much can fit most of our design. Okay, that's number one. Number two, because we use a CSV file, so you can easily become to save to the Excel format and send to someone else. They need it. Okay. And in the meantime, because we had the more expand the columns right there, So we can put more information right there. For example, we can put the actual information like a period, current period, year to date, or even we can put this 12 months. Okay, if you want, you can put a 12 months, every month come out. In the meantime, you can put the budget right there. Okay, if you want to set the budget file in the system, you can bring up that to do the comparisons. Another one is we call comparative. It's called previous year. And the previous year now means you have to compare with last year. Not necessary. Sometimes you can decide you have to compare certain period year. You don't need to exactly have to prepare last year. For example, we have the customer in the Virgin Islands, the hotel. Unfortunately, they had a hurricane right there, right? And the pandemic. So the past 3 years, past 4 years, the business is crazy. It's very, very slow because nobody go over there because pandemic. So when they're doing a financial statement from the 2023, when they do the comparison, they don't want to compare with the 2022 or 21. They don't want to do that because it's not a normal. Okay, so they want to compare with 2018. Yes, it's better comparison. So in doing a compare, you can compare certain previous year. You can decide from the system point of view. Okay, so that is the convenient. After you do the comparison, you can make an additional column to put the variance, the difference, to do the comparison. That right, you can come out. So you can very easy to see this plus or minus. Okay, you get improved or get lost. Okay, so you can easily do the comparison. But the number is number, but you can still put a percentage right there. So, this year, my sales compared with last year, I increased 20% or something like that, or lost 10%. So you can do those kind of comparison in the financial statement side. Okay, so that is the big improvement from here. So, and the design is very user friendly. Okay. Okay, number one, how to design the custom specification. We're talking about a custom file, custom statement, because remember we have the two kinds, one called standard, another one called custom. In standard, we don't have that much we can do. They always come out the current period and year to date. That's it. Okay. So even you can put a budget, whatever, but still limit to very predefined field right there. So we do not put the CSV file right there. Okay. So our CSV file is doing the custom financial statement. And your layout file is no change. From the standard to custom, your layout is no change. Exactly, you can use the original layout, just only the column wise. Okay, so the column, you can define your column, why you want to present your financial statement from your request. Okay, and this we call specifications. So we have a two part, one called layout, this vertical side, and the horizontal side we call specifications. So you can decide my column A is actual year to period to date, B is year to date actual, and C is the budget, whatever. Okay, so you can very wide design that. So that is very flexible to do so. Okay, and I just mentioned text format. Our default just only 13 column. This is the maximum. So that is we can do. And the CSV file is go to 65 columns. Okay, so right now let me doing that two kind of demo. Number one is using traditional current period, year to date, and budget, and comparative, and total budget. Okay, just in case I put it 3 parts. Okay, let me doing that. First of all, if we go to the processing in the, I didn't. how to switch that? Sorry. It was, can you do me a favor? How to switch to my demo? Huh? Window. Escape key?
Yeah. And then minimize.
Yeah. How can doing that? It's not working. Okay, thank you. Okay, from the processing, select and print the financial statement area. We come into here. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so better. Okay, so you look at in the top, we have to select and the print. Print is print financial statement. And the select is doing the specifications. Okay, so you want to define your specification, you come into select. After you define it, most of the time, maybe you don't need to come back to select, just go ahead to print, okay? Now, for example, I go to this custom specification area. If I go to a change, okay, for example, I put the A10. Okay, this is called specification. I put the number called A10. This is my first specifications. And layout number using 002. This is my financial statement, P&L. This is income statement part. Okay, I assign 002. And from the number 4, from number 3 down to the 13, that's called specification area. The most of the you have to look at that is number 1 in the there's some kind of format. Do you put a $ or you want to put some kind of, do you want to show the zero balance? So most of the cases, we don't want to show the zero balance right here. And this one, this called print the variance percentage. So if we hit a variance, the right side, we can show the percentage of the change. Okay, so it's much easier to understanding that. And number 9 is print next run, say yes, that will print. But you can predefine, you can turn to no. If you say no, when you're doing the printing, you won't print this specification. Okay, so this is on and off, very simple. And this one is a new feature here called show fiscal year start and end date. Because before, when we print the custom financial statement, we don't have this date in the top. Okay, so if you print called current period and the year to date, and you don't have that number. So some of the people say, hey, I look at the financial statement, I don't have the day and year. So look, it's so strange. Okay, so we added this one. So if you say yes, the system will print the fiscal year. For example, I use in the calendar year. Okay, so they use the 01/01/23 to 12/31/23. These are all the years. So they know your fiscal year, the starting day, ending date. Okay. In the meantime, they will they show you, say, number 11. If I say yes, they will print your current period. In this case, this company, this is my demo company right now, my current period is August 23. Okay. So if I say yes, they will show me my current period come up. So you know what's your presentation. Okay. So that will be help you out a lot. Okay. 12 is very important. By idea design, you don't need to become the CSV file, just text file. You should make it very simple. Okay. But if you want to say you want to go to the CSV file, you have to say yes. And system give you the path and file name. I put in the M drive area 7 temp P&L A10.csv. This is my file name and the position they put there. Okay. 14, they show the underline on the CSV. You can say yes or no. Somebody, they don't want to show any kind of underline or double line right there. Okay. But I prefer that because I like to show. Okay. Look more officially designed. Okay. So if I say 12, What's the benefit here? This is traditional. This is a full screen. This is called text format layout. This is text format. So I have the column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you look at that. First one, I do the design. P means called present year, the current year. Okay. And this is called CP, called current period to current period. This first pin. So let's show the current period. If I'm the August, in this column, this column will be show the August current year, current period. Okay. And this is just the format. And you look at that. This the top, the header. Okay, these are 2 lines. The top line called current and called amount. Okay, same thing. And C, can you see the bottom? The C called comparative. Let's present the previous year. What year? Still current. I put a PY here. That means put a variable right here. I don't need to change it every year. I always compare with last year or previous year. But you can specify a particular year. For example, I give you called Virgin Island Net Hotel. They compare with 2019. Okay, because 20, 21, 23 to them is not presentable. Okay, so they don't want to use that. You can specify it. So they give the full character space right there. So you can type the year, the particular year you want to do the comparison, just in case. Yeah. And line 3, can you see the column? The V is called variance. I compare. So they use column 1 and column 2 to do the comparison. Okay. So it's a compare column 1 and column 2. Doesn't mean compare my current and the previous year. Okay. Same thing. Can you see there's a current, comparative, and variance amount? Okay. So same thing. In the next one, I want to see from the 1 to CP. That means from the very beginning to current period. So my current period is August. That means from the January to August, 8 months. Okay, 8 months. Yeah, that's year to date. Okay, so my year to date amount. Same thing, comparative, same thing. Okay, so variance, can you see that? They had a 4 and 5. What's it mean? That means compare line 4 and line 5. Okay, so there's a 4 and 5 is called position, 4 and 5. Yeah. And last column, I want to use a B called budget. And this is budget from the 1 to 12. I don't want to compare current. I want to compare the whole year. What's the purpose? I like to know if right now I spend some money for the 8 months, right? I want to compare the whole year. How many rooms still right there? I have some idea. I overspend my money or less use my money, or maybe I had more room right there. So you had to make a judgment. So my budget, I'd like to put the whole year budget right there. So to do the comparison. Yeah, depending on what you want to compare. Get your idea, okay? So this one is called D4 page. Can you see here? We don't have anything showing right here. We don't have anything showing here. That means text format. If you hit enter, there's another page. Can you see here? So that means this one is CSV format. They just copy your text format to the CSV. Okay. And from the CSV, you can design more columns by yourself. So your text and the CSV is not necessarily have the same. It's not necessary because CSV, you can expand to the 65 columns, right? You have more capacity right there. So you can design more, you can add more right there. But right now, I just make it very simple. I do in the text format and the CSV format. Right now, it's the same, okay? Yeah. So right now, if I go to the print, go to print custom. It doesn't matter, I go to the print, okay, sweet. Okay, can you see this one is text format? Still look very, very good, very nice. Okay, because we just using very it's not very white. Okay, so the screen look is still good, and you can see that this typical. We put this one called fiscal year. Okay, 2023, and current period you can see this August. Okay, so you know right now we are playing the current period is August. Okay, the year to date is from the beginning of to the August. So and this part is budget. Oh, sorry, I used the wrong. Wait a minute, right? Maybe I put sorry a lot. Maybe I typed it wrong. Oh, sorry. This should be the comparative. Okay. This is for last year, current period last year. Sorry about that. I typed error. So this is compare after. That's difference. So that means this year, this period in August this year, my sales just only $1.3 million. But last year, $1.7 million. Okay. So I short, right? Yeah, my sales amount is lower than the last year for the $363,000. Okay, yeah. So this year present not better than last year. So you know that. Okay. Now this period. Sorry about that. This period. The whole. Oh, sorry. This part is just only 1 month. Okay. This one just only 1 month comparison. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, it's August. But whole year, the year to date is $15 million. And compared with last year is $13 million. So they had a $1.9 million more, okay, from the year to date comparison. Yeah. So you can this individual months and the year to date compares difference. Okay. So this one is the whole year budget. Okay, this annual budget. I put the last column. Okay, so that is so you can keep going, go to the end. Okay, so that is so right now in the whole, in the before tax, after tax, we're still short. Okay, yeah, because we last year, in the year to date, we had $1.1 million net income, but this year just only $765,000. Okay, so maybe out of some kind of expense, more than that. Okay, if I minimize this one, I go to it, yes. Anyway, we're using the same way, right? Using auto. Okay. Let me make it a little bit so you can see the whole picture. You see that? So this one, I just make some format. So dollar amount they use in the rate in. Okay. So if the negative, okay, they're using the rate in. So you can easily to present that portion. Any questions so far? Is looking nice, are we? Yeah. Yeah, this automatically pop up. We're doing it. Even we didn't do any modify, any massage. The CSV file is present that way. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's very presentable. Yeah. Yes. As soon as you're doing the final year-end procedure, when you do the close, they will write, before you purge the data, they will write a summary, the file to the comparative file. Yes. It's if you look at it's very similar. Like if you go to the report, you print called account period file. Every account, right? Every month they call beginning balance, net change, and ending balance, right? Yeah. Same thing. After you doing a year-end close, they will grab this file, put on the yes, yeah, by year. Yeah, yeah, it's called comparative file. You can go back to maintenance to print that file if you want. Yeah, okay, that's a very good thing. You can trace back 10 years, 20 years, all right there. Yeah, you can compare any year you want if the data is right there. Okay. You see this one, I make a little bit small. This one is I designed 12 columns. I'm not doing any comparative. I'm not doing any budgets. I'm just doing the actual current year. Okay, 12 months, the P&L, the financial statement, the income statement. So you look at that because our current period is coming to August only, right? So you can see the September, the 3. Right now, because we don't have activity yet, right? So this is 4 months. Right now it's zero amount. Okay, and this year to date is up to the August accumulate. Okay, the accumulates. So you can run this way. So you think about that. If you run the current period, whatever, it's using the certain column already. So if you want to compare another 12 months, the budget or comparative, many times 3 times, 36 columns. You had to come out 36 columns right away. So you can think that even the 65 columns still limit there. Okay. If you want to do some kind of variance, it's another 12, another 24. Okay, yes.
So this is a custom specification.
Yes.
The one that you showed us only had 13 lines.
Right.
How do you go beyond that?
Okay, let me explain to you right here. Is still in here. Okay, I have another specifications. For I just not show you. Okay, this is 820. Can you see here? That is the column. Okay, from the 1 to 13. Okay, but after that, beyond this one, you can go to another page and go from the 14 to 26. To continue. And the search screen from the 27 to whatever, up to the 65. Okay, so multiple pages right there. Yeah. But if you're not using all of them, you won't go to the next screen because they know you stop right there.
So be able to go in.
Yes, right. Right. Right, you have to specify. Maybe last year you usually using PY, and before last year maybe you have count. You have put the 2021, 2020. Keep going. Yeah. You have to specify the year of the number. Okay. Yeah. Make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I make some kind of crazy pop at the portion called AA9, I remember. I mean, I just testing the maximum, okay. This 13, okay. Can you see that from here? This is called page 1. CSV, can you see the top? Here? Page 1, right? 13. If I hit enter, page 2. Can you see that? Page 3, page 4. And page 4 down to the 52 line columns and keep going 65. This is the maximum we have. So you think about it. This is your room right there. Okay. Any questions so far? Good. Okay. Because our time is very limited. Okay. What's our let's see. Okay. 25. Huh? Okay, we still have a little bit of time, right?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So if you have any question, you can send an email to me. Okay, just in case if you're doing is not clear or whatever. Okay, so this is very exciting. If you can go back to add the different kind of specification and run it. Okay, it have no any consequence because if you don't like it, just delete it. Okay, it won't hurt you. Okay, and your layout file is already there. Okay, you don't need to worry about the layout side. Okay, you just make your horizontal side. Okay, create a new specification number. Okay, maybe use the 501, 102. Keep going to doing that. Okay, test it. Okay, yes. Oh, budget. We have a budget file. Okay, in the maintenance area. So can you see here? We have a budget file. And if you go to the change, if I show you the one, okay, and if I say 3,000, one, you see that? This is a little bit tricky. From the accounting point of view, sales is credit, right? Sales is credit. It's revenue is credit. So you have to use a negative to present. Okay, so credit, they use a negative amount to present that. So they know this one's a credit amount. Yeah. So that and they'll tell you, okay, this is budget. And they had a function, they had an import function here. The layout is very simple. You just use the main account. For example, your account maybe 3,000 and the sub account maybe 2 for special and discussion. Discussion maybe you don't need to do anything because you already tell the account. And from the D to O, from the period 1 to period 12, you put your every month's sales, your budget. And remember, put a negative, yes. Yeah, they keep saved right there. They're the year. Or there's an import, when you're doing the import, that moment system will ask you what year you want to import to. Okay, so you put the 2023 because most of cases, or you want to prepare next year, 2024. Yes, you can do it right now. Yeah, you can start in prepare for the next year budget. When the import system will ask the year, yeah. Can you see the field number 4? Field number 4, budget year and revision number, yeah. So you had and you can export last year budget and massage in the Excel and import back and put a new year. Then maybe. No, this is 8.5, 8 point. Yeah. Yeah, it's already there. It's there. Budget file is already there. So we had a budget file, the comparative file with the current. So 3 different kind of the number, the value right there. So you can put together doing a comparison. Okay, yeah. Okay, last we have the okay, let me go down to, let me see. So we have the already here. Okay, so I make okay, we have some of the new feature, very important. Okay, this is one I want to tell you. Anybody know when they doing the temporary year end, For example, beginning of the 2023, you had to do temporary year because you haven't done the 2022. The temporary, you want to do temporary year and continue. And you had to face in one thing, and the bank will challenge you. When you print a financial statement, your balance sheet is out of balance, right? Do you know what happened? Why out of balance? Beth? Right. Some kind of really embarrassing because when you want to send this financial statement to bank, a bank challenges what's going on? Your financial statement did not.
I think.
Why? Why your financial statement is out of balance, right? Your balance sheet is not balanced. It's so embarrassing. Okay, we make that fix that. Okay, so you look at that in here. We doing the called LYNI because the net income is calculations. They from the code called BS NI, right? Balance sheet net income. There's calculations. But before we final year end, we don't have to retain earning. So we cannot, so she cannot put that last year, the net income or the net loss to the financial statement because not finalized yet. Okay, but now we make that work. We use for LYNI for last year net income. Put in your balance sheet layout. Okay, put it right there, and system will automatically calculate for you. Real time calculate this last year your net income and present right there and make your balance sheet balance. It's nice. Yeah, because we have struggled 2 to 3 months, right? After temporary year. Yes. Okay. So that is the very important. Number 2, I think some of the users may start using. We import CSV file to the general ledger. Who using that? Okay. Yeah. Fusiono, yes. Okay, good. Yes. Okay. This one is more and more. This is my experience. More and more people using this function. The reason why is maybe out of payroll, most of the third party to handle that. Okay, so hopefully they can provide that transaction, those are journal to us, so we don't need to manually enter that. So as soon as we create that spreadsheet, we can do the import. The concept is very similar like the interface. Just so we interface from the outside the database, not from our sub ledgers. Okay, so treat like this another interface. Okay, so yeah, this original already had. Yes, I just mentioned that this had a good tool, and we had a customer. They had a supermarket. Okay, so their accounts receivable, sales generate from a different system because the supermarket are using a special program for fit that industry. So every month they generate the CSV file and import the sales, import the accounts receivable, and even the cash received, they just automatically make it because they always, because this encounter, right? They always get the cash or whatever. Okay, so this cash cash business. So they do a lot of import, and so that help them a lot. Okay, so they this function is pretty good, and more people using that. Okay, and some of them they're doing the month-end adjustments. For example, they have the depreciations, and they have some kind of accrual account, some kind of accrued expense, or maybe inventory or something else. They happen every end of the month doing the journal entry adjustment. So they created a predefined those are account right there. So every month they just put an amount right there. If not happen, they put 0. It's not a big deal. Okay, so put a 0 right there, and they import it. Yeah, every year, so they don't need the one by one make journal entry. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Just fill every month. They fill different amount, and you just make a template. Yeah. make it easy way. And you won't forget something, because if you make some transaction, maybe sometimes you not cover all the adjustments. Yeah. Okay, any questions? Okay.
Does anybody need a break? Okay, so we continue. Okay, and we are just fighting with time. Time, yes.